There are shocking reasons why young women go crazy for older men, and I guarantee it's not about money or status, like most people think. In reality, what drives this attraction is something much deeper, even instinctive. And the craziest part? This might be happening right around you, without you even realizing it. Can you imagine what makes these connections so intense, to the point of defying judgments, criticism, and even society's expectations? If you think you already know the answer, think again. Today, I'm going to reveal the real secret behind why young women lose their minds over older men. And by the time we get to the final explanation, everything will make perfect sense. But before we begin, let me know in the comments, do you think women really prefer older men? Comment yes or no. I want to hear your opinion. Imagine this scene: a young, beautiful woman surrounded by guys her age, all trying to impress her. Bad jokes, empty conversations, that energy of people constantly trying to prove something. She smiles politely, but deep down, she's bored. Then across the room, an older man walks in, effortlessly, without needing to draw attention. He just exists, and that changes everything. She notices the way he moves, with confidence, no rush. She feels his gaze, firm, but without desperation. His voice, deep, measured, filled with a confidence that only comes with age. And in that moment, something almost automatic happens. Her attention shifts to him. This is no coincidence. Women are instinctively drawn to men who exude control, who give off the feeling that they know exactly what they're doing. And that's the big difference. The younger guys are still trying to figure out how the world works. The older men have already figured it out. While the younger guys talk too much, the older men speak less, but with more weight. While the younger ones try to appear confident, the older ones are confident. And guess what? Women feel that immediately. Experience isn't just a detail, it's a magnet. Now tell me, have you ever noticed this happening around you? Ever seen how an older man can dominate a room without breaking a sweat? Comment below. I want to hear your opinion. And hold on tight, because in the next reason, you'll understand what really makes a woman feel safe next to a man, and it has nothing to do with money. There's something inside every woman that makes her seek security. Not financial security, not a traditional provider, but a man who makes her feel that nothing can harm her when she's with him. And this is not a rational choice. It's instinct. Women have been biologically programmed to detect strength and stability in a man. This comes from millennia of evolution, where a strong partner meant survival and protection. Today, the world has changed, but the instinct remains alive. And do you know where she notices this? In the way he reacts when chaos arises. Real life isn't perfect. Unexpected things happen. What happens when a problem arises? When the situation gets tough, the younger guys panic. They lose their cool, react impulsively, turning everything into an emotional drama. The older man? He doesn't flinch. He stays calm. He handles it. If something goes wrong, he doesn't panic. He finds the solution. If she gets into an argument, he doesn't start a fight for no reason, but he knows when to assert himself at the right time. If another guy disrespects her, he doesn't react with insecurity or exaggerated aggression. He commands respect without lifting a finger. This makes a woman feel a visceral attraction, because deep down, she knows, with this man, I can relax. And that changes everything. When a woman feels she can be herself without fear of judgment or insecurity, she opens up completely. She realizes she doesn't need to test this man. She realizes he doesn't need to prove anything. And that feeling of being with someone who exudes strength, stability, and control creates a connection that younger men will never understand. And the effect of this? She feels like she's found something rare, something that no other man has ever been able to trigger inside her. And once that trigger is pulled, there's no turning back. True seduction doesn't happen in words. It happens in the space between them, in the gaze that lingers for a second longer than expected, in the subtle touch that makes her skin burn from the inside out, in the way a man dominates a room without raising his voice. And most men don't understand this. The younger ones think they need to speak more, act more, prove more. But those who truly master the game do exactly the opposite. They create tension. They play with silence. And that's the real secret. The body speaks before any words are said. The way he leans slightly toward her and then pulls back, leaving the air filled with the feeling of lack. The way he maintains eye contact, without hurry, without fear, as if he's exploring every detail of her before even touching her. The way he moves slowly, as if he has all the time in the world, while she feels time speeding up inside her. This creates an almost hypnotic effect. She feels her own body responding before she even realizes what's happening. Her heart races. Her breath changes. That flutter in her stomach from a desire she can't explain, but also can't ignore. And that's exactly what the younger men never understand, because they try to win a woman over by speaking more. But the men who really make an impact do it without saying a single word. Now tell me, have you ever noticed the effect a simple glance can have on a woman? If not, just wait until you discover the next subtle detail that makes an older man completely irresistible. She can't explain it, but something about him sparks a heat inside her. Maybe it's the scent, not some cheap, overpowering cologne. It's something subtle, masculine that invades her senses and mixes with his presence. Maybe it's the way he wears that shirt, just tight enough to hint at his body shape, but without trying to draw attention. The discreet watch on his wrist, the penetrating gaze. But it's not just that. It's the way he moves. No rush, no exaggerated gestures. Every movement of his seems intentional. She notices how he casually touches his own neck while speaking, how he holds her gaze firmly, never looking away first, how he leans in slightly when he says something softer, letting his voice slide directly into her ear. And suddenly, she realizes her body has already responded. Her heart races, her breath shortens. The chill runs up her skin before she even understands what's happening. It wasn't explicit, nothing direct. It was the desire he sparked without needing a single word. And that's the secret. Older men aren't obvious. They don't give everything away right away. They create tension, expectation, that heat that starts low and keeps growing, until she can't take it anymore. And when she realizes she's completely caught in this game, it's already too late. Because now, all she can think about is, what will it be like to be in his arms? The body speaks before the mind understands. Desire doesn't appear suddenly. It's not an uncontrollable explosion. It grows. It takes over. And this is where experience makes all the difference. Because a man who has lived knows that pleasure isn't about speed. It's about intensity. He doesn't rush. He feels the moment. Every gesture, every touch, every breath. It all has a purpose. And when the woman realizes she's with someone who knows what he's doing, her body reacts before she even notices. Her skin warms. Her breath falters. Her heart races. The game has begun. But here, there is no rush, no clumsy impulsiveness, no quick, empty moves. Because true pleasure isn't about finishing quickly. It's about guiding the experience in a way she's never felt before. It's about noticing every sign her body gives. Understanding what deeply awakens her desire, stretching the moment until she loses all control. And that's the detail that separates the boys from the men. The younger ones want to reach the end. The experienced man? He knows that the end is just a detail. Because true pleasure isn't about finishing. It's about making her want more. And that's exactly what happens. The impact stays. The memory sticks. Because after someone who knows how to awaken every fiber of her body, nothing else will ever be enough. She doesn't understand. It doesn't make sense. It's been days, maybe weeks, but he's still on her mind. She's had other experiences before. She's met other guys, felt desire, gotten involved, but none of it compares to this. Because the truth is, this isn't just about physical attraction. It's a psychological addiction. And that's the true power of an older man. He doesn't just awaken desire in her body. He settles into her mind, the way he looks at her, like he can see beyond the surface. The calmness of someone who doesn't need to prove anything. The confidence of someone who doesn't seek validation. All of this makes her think about him even when she doesn't want to. And the worst part? No other guy can replace him. She even tries, goes out, meets other men, distracts herself. But it's like something's missing. Because what keeps her hooked isn't just what he does, it's how he makes her feel. And this is the kind of connection that doesn't fade. Once she's experienced it, no other man will ever be enough. So when he pulls away, when he disappears for a while, her absence feels heavy. The absence of him is so strong that she finds herself asking, what did this man do to me? And that's exactly where he's already won the game. What really makes a young woman fall for an older man isn't just desire, it's not just chemistry, and definitely not money. The real reason lies in how he makes her feel. The vast majority of men live in a cycle of insecurity, a need for validation, and desperation to please. They chase after, beg for attention, try to impress with status, rehearsed lines, or persistence. And you know what happens? It only diminishes their value in the eyes of a woman. The older man who understands the game of attraction doesn't give everything away easily, doesn't put himself out there as just another guy, and doesn't beg for attention. He creates experiences. He triggers emotions she's never felt before. And when a woman experiences something that takes her out of the ordinary, something that makes her lose control in a deep and unexpected way, it sticks with her. And that's the key point. What binds a woman to a man isn't just the moment, but the memory of what she felt with him. The female mind operates emotionally. The stronger the impact a man makes, the harder it is for her to forget him. She may try to find that same connection elsewhere. She might go out with other men, search for different experiences, but when a man hits the right mark, when he creates an emotional bond while maintaining a slight degree of mystery and challenge, he becomes irreplaceable. And that's how an older man, who knows how to handle a relationship, becomes unforgettable. That's the real secret. A woman doesn't fall for the older man just because he's experienced. She falls for him because he made her feel something no one else could. And that's something that sticks. Now it's clear. The attraction that young women feel for older men isn't about money, status, or any other cliché that many people believe. It's about how he makes her feel. While younger men try to impress with exaggerations, insecurity, and desperation for validation, older men know exactly what they're doing. They don't chase after. They don't try to prove anything. They simply create unforgettable moments. And that's what women can't forget. Because in the end, it's not about who has the best body, the most expensive car, or the most rehearsed lines. It's about who leaves the deepest mark. So now tell me, have you noticed this power in action? If yes, comment below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because this was just the beginning.